Every year, Goodreads will leave it up to their audience and user base to decide what the best books of the year were. They split it up by genre, and they will go through an opening round where there are a bunch of books per genre, and then they will whittle it down into the final round, which is where we are today. I did have a light peruse in the opening round to see what books were in each category, like what made it at least to the opening round, but I didn't vote because I was like, I may as well like do this with you guys. You don't get a say because this is a dictatorship. I'm really sorry about that. But you can watch me do it. How about that? So let's start with fiction. You probably haven't read every book in the category, so it's impossible to actually vote fairly in terms of like what book is the best or your favorite if you haven't read all of it. So what this ends up turning into is the books that the most people know of and love from the year. Cool, so yeah, just if you were expecting the best written books to win, let's curb that enthusiasm for a second. Okay, when I was looking in the opening round, there were a lot more books that I knew of. There's a 26-week waiting list for Intermezzo at my library, so I haven't actually gotten to that one yet. The only one I've read is The Wedding People. The only one I've read. This one is making me giggle already because I know Harriet read this one and she didn't like it at all. I love how polarizing some books are. I have to vote The Wedding People because not only is it the only one that I've read, I also loved it. I think I gave this one a 4.5. And I remember this book. I don't remember the content as much, but I remember that this book made me feel like I was excited. And also it's one of my favorite covers of the year, easily. Wedding People gets my vote. Cool, cool, cool. All right, on to historical fiction. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Don't. You put The Frozen River and The Women into this category. Do you know what? Kristen Hanna, I love you with all of my heart. If Kristen Hanna has one fan, it's me. If Kristen Hanna has 0 fans, I'm dead. But I have to go The Frozen River by Ariel Lawhon. If you haven't read this one, it's really good. It's really very good. A gripping historical mystery inspired by the life and diary of Martha Ballard, a renowned 18th century midwife who defied the legal system and wrote herself into American history. It's set in Maine, 1789. This was great. And I remember, I think I talk about this one in my, this video ends when I find a 5-star read, in the sense that this book actually inspired me to do that video because I was halfway through it and I was like, yeah, this is all right. By the time I finished the book, it was undoubtedly a 5-star book, and it kind of solidifies my, like, where I'm at with DNFing books, in the sense that I really don't want to do it because I want to give books a chance because of books like this one, because I didn't expect it to be a 5-star until I finished it. So that one does get my vote. I love you so much, Kristen Hanna. I voted, not the I voted sticker. Mystery and thriller. Frida McFadden is nominated twice here. This is on my TBR. I really, really, really want to read this. I feel like this is probably gonna be better than, like, I don't want to vote in this category because for some reason I think this one should win. I've not read it. I don't even know what the blurb is. But there's like, I just have a feeling if Frida McFadden wins, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Richard Osman is nominated. I've only read Thursday Murder Club, but that probably deserves to win. I don't know. I can't vote in this one. I've read, the only one I've actually read is First Night Wins. No, I've read The Teacher as well, I think. It was f***ing shit. Sorry. Okay, romance. I don't think I will have read anything in here. Oh, I've read Funny Story, and I've read Wild Love, and Paradise Problem was on my TBR, but I didn't get to it. Wild Love did, like, at times make me want to spontaneously combust. I'm gonna skip this category because I think I gave Funny Story by Emily Henry a 3. It was good, but like my favorite Emily Henry is Book Lovers, and it's really hard when you read like your favorite book from that author to then like really get that obsessed with the others. It puts her other books in like a different context for me. Now that I know that what she can do with Book Lovers, I'm like, oh, I loved that book. I loved Book Lovers. So Wild Love, I'm so sorry, Elsie Silver, you're not getting my vote. Even if every other book in this category was dirty smut, Oh, that's next in romantasy. Hold that thought. Yeah, I'm not gonna participate in this one. I haven't read enough to give a shit about what wins romance. I'm not a romance girly. Cold Dead Heart, etc., etc. May the best romance win. Oh, Jesus, I'm so embarrassed that I've read a lot of these books. This cannot be nominated. This cannot be nominated. I suppose it is, you know, I've got to remind myself it's about the most well-known and favorite books of the year, not necessarily the best. I won't lie to you, I think I gave this one a 3.5 because this book had essences of being a 2-star and then at the same time really surprised me in other places and there were like 4-star elements, so I settled at 3.5, but looking back on that, this book does not deserve any higher than a 2.85. Apprentice to the Villain I haven't read. Quicksilver I have. This was a 5-star read for me. On entertainment value, I fucking loved this book. Born of Blood and Ash I haven't read because I've read her Blood and Ash series and this is the Flesh and Fire series. Confusing, I know. Have not read Crescent City yet. I've tried 3 times. Cue my favorite video on the internet.
I have not been able to do so. I tried 3 times.
Which one is that? 9. I only got up to 6 in this series, this piece of literature. Holy shit, if you haven't read Zodiac Academy, do yourself a favor. Don't go into it thinking that it's going to be intelligent at all. This is one of the great like reality TV show series. This is one of the great like guilty pleasures. Like I read 6 of them and I think I was rolling my eyes, physically cringing, equal parts uncomfortable as I was enjoying it. I hate read these books, but I also simultaneously like do enjoy them. Not anymore. It's not good. It's not good, but it's so like guilty pleasure book. Do you know what I mean? Like if you want a guilty pleasure, then give it a go. And also apparently like a lot of time on your hands because for no reason whatsoever, each one of these books are like absurdly long. I read them all on my Kindle because they're all on Kindle Unlimited. They are like quite relentlessly cringe. Have not read A Fate Inked in Blood. Phantasma I did read, but it lost me halfway through. And to be honest, I was really enjoying this book like up until the 60% mark. And the trails were really interesting, loved that. But the romance was a bit too lovey-dovey for me. It was a bit too like sappy, like they were really in love after only knowing each other for like 4 days. And that's pushing it for me. Wow, I've never seen that before. The Spell Shop? That's interesting. That's the first book in all of these categories so far that I genuinely have never even seen it. At least in the other categories I've known of them, but yeah, anyway, in summary, Quicksilver gets my vote here because I was so thoroughly entertained by this book and we were meant to get the second one in October, but then she got like bittersweet. She got picked up by a traditional publisher and they're gonna publish it for her, and so now it's been pushed back to like late next year or something. I'm not actually sure, but you know, bitter in the sense that I don't get to read the next Quicksilver this year. But you know, slay Callie Hart, go you. We're voting Quicksilver here. Fantasy, when I was I already know before I click on fantasy, when I was perusing the opening round, I genuinely didn't recognize a single book in it. And I felt so silly because I was like, I love fantasy. And then I looked in here and I was like, I haven't read a single fucking book here. Yeah, so I can't vote. I don't even recognize any of them. It's so embarrassing. I love to say I read fantasy and it turns out I just read, did read romantasy. I can't do it anymore because I can't do the romance element. So we will be upgrading and we will be reading more fantasy in the next 12 months. Hopefully. That's my goal actually. Next time I vote in the Goodreads Choice Awards, I want to know at least 3 of the fantasy books and have a genuine thought out opinion. Because right now,
I hate to say it, I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is. He could be walking down the street, I wouldn't know a thing.
Sorry to this man. Okay, science fiction, again, I'm not expecting to know any of these books. I don't. I should know Ministry of Time, like I should have read that, but I didn't. So good luck to the science fiction. Horror, again, I don't feel like I read any of this. I know of some of them and I did want to read You Like It Darker as well as We Used to Live Here. Didn't though. What a great concept for a video, Lucy. Vote on books and you don't even know any of them. Favorite debut? Oh, add that to the list. Haven't read any of these either. Audiobook? Wedding People? No, okay. don't listen to audiobooks. Sorry about that. Once again, for people who might be new here, I am a voice artist and an audiobook narrator and a video editor, and I spend all day listening to audio. So when I finish my day of work, the last thing I want to do is listen to more audio. That's why I read. Young adult fantasy, surely not. Good. I don't know it. Young adult fiction? Ooh, I have read The Reappearance of Rachel Price. But I haven't read any of the others, so I don't feel comfortable voting. Also, like, if this doesn't win, then I am in a really interesting corner of the internet, because I feel like everyone fucking loves this book. All betting on you, everyone loves that. I think I was literally just looking at Hayley Pham's Instagram story, right? And she like reorganized her bookshelves. But I'm pretty sure she's got like 4 copies of this book. Yeah, how many is that? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, she's got 3 hardcovers of Betting on You. Love that for her. Non-fiction. I want to read more non-fiction. Let it be known. Oh, that looks fucking interesting. The Untold Story of the Rise and Fall of Disney Channel's Tween Empire. Damn, that's really like, I'm hook, line, and sinker right now. That looks really fascinating. I really like nonfiction. I think people who like don't like nonfiction haven't read good writing of nonfiction, because there is a way for writers to convey and teach you something while keeping you entertained. And an example of that for me is I read Cultish by Amanda Montell was an interesting one. It like goes into the making of a cult, and the language of fanaticism, I think, is on the cover, and that's a really good way to sum it up. It's like how cults use language to really get participants and members of the cult to join, usually without realizing it's a cult. I mean, that it's in the name kind of thing. Like cults, typically when people join them, they don't realize they're joining a cult. This is Your Mind on Plants by Michael Pollan as well. Come on, you've got to read it just because his last name's Pollan. Like, as if your name is Pollan. He's following his own prophecy. You've got to respect it. That one's really, really interesting. It goes into the effects of opium, caffeine, and mescaline, I think, and like what it does to your system and things like that. And that one's really fascinating. The opium part is so good. I really liked it. So I do want to read more nonfiction this year, because I do really like it. And I think if you are like, I don't read nonfiction, it's not fun, like, get out of that mindset, because there are some really amazing nonfiction books that will teach you some really cool stuff. And the more you know about nonfiction, the more you enjoy fiction. I don't know, sorry, non-fiction rant over. I just feel like I never see, in the booktube community, I very rarely see anyone reading a non-fiction book, and I always see people who are just sitting there being like, non-fiction, I hate it. And I'm like, give it a chance. It's actually kind of interesting. Memoirs, didn't read any. Good luck to you all. History and biography, didn't read any. Good luck to you all. Well, in summary, we voted in 3 of 15 categories. What a stupid video idea this was. Good Lord. I don't even feel like it's appropriate to ask you to smash that like button today. If anything, this experience has taught me that there is a whole world of books out there that I just have no idea that exist, that I am interested in, and I need to be reading more of them. What was in the 2023 awards? Oh, Slay. Love that book. That one's pretty good. Yeah, I gave it 5 stars. Oh. Not the 4th wing itch. I get the 4th wing itch every week. There's something going on with this book where I get an itch every week. I'm like chomping at the bit to reread 4th Wing for no reason. It's not even that good, like writing wise, but I love that book. It's so much fun. I did read this. Anyway, well, thank you for watching. Bit of a bonus video for you, but not necessarily one of my best, I'll admit. I am on Goodreads, but if you want to add me on Goodreads, I instead direct you to Miss Fable. Fable is so much more fun, because the first way that it trumps Goodreads is that the app works. And you don't have to go and make yourself a coffee and, you know, have a coffee, maybe read a book in between loading a page on the app. That's really cool. This does feel like modern technology Fable. So add me on Fable because Fable is a sleigh. Yeah, this is really cool. It gives you like this, which makes me piss myself. I sound insufferable. Eclectic historian, you hop between ancient epics, modern mysteries, magical realms, and gritty historical dramas like a time-traveling book thief. I'm worried you'll start a book club with the ghost of Aristotle. And it like breaks up all this, and you know, you can, the reading streak is manual, which is annoying, so I don't think anyone really cares about that, but it gives you all of this stuff, which is really good. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Add me on Fable, and I will see you guys in the next video. Love you so much. Bye.